Hey guys, another beautiful day in South Florida. And in this video, I want to talk about the snowbird migration. So in Florida, a lot of residents or a lot of visitors come during the winter months, specifically November through the end of March. That's when snowbirds migrate down to Florida. A snowbird is basically considered a person who only comes to Florida for 6 months out of the year in the winter, and then during the spring and summer they migrate back up north to their state or their country. And so here it is. Right now it's about the second week of April as I make this video, and the snowbirds are starting to migrate back up north to a northern state or back to Canada. A lot of Canadians come here, and in the streets there's starting to be less traffic, less crowds. The weather is getting warmer, a lot hotter during the day, in the high 80s, which I like. I like it hot. And do you notice a big difference in the winter versus in the summer, as far as the population, the crowds, the difference when there's snowbirds down here versus when they migrate back up north? You do notice. Now being here just about a year, I have noticed the difference. I do prefer it in the summer where it's a little bit more, less crowds, but I certainly respect and appreciate people who want to visit here. I'm not, being that I moved from New Jersey to Florida, I don't begrudge people for coming here only for a certain amount of months and enjoying Florida. I grew up in New Jersey, and when I used to go to the Jersey Shore, a lot of people who lived in South Jersey along the ocean, they used to resent northern New Jersey people and people from New York. They would resent them from migrating down to the Jersey Shore only in the summer. And I used to always look at that as foolish because, they bring so much money to the economy, and, look, without that, the world doesn't go around without people commercing and coming and visiting. So I can understand the locals' perspective is, there's always this feeling of entitlement, and when the streets get crowded, human nature is, this is my turf, this is my territory, you're only a part-timer. So there always is, too, when we talk about snowbirds and migration, there always is a undertone of resentment sometimes with locals and visitors. But that's not just for Florida and snowbirds. That again, it applied to the Jersey Shore. It applies to anywhere because it's just human nature. But overall, how I feel about it is I prefer the summer because I like it real hot. In the winter, even in South Florida, it gets hot, but there's not that extra sting of humidity and heat, which I like, which makes you sweat. See, a lot of people don't like to sweat. I like to sweat. I didn't come to Florida because I like it cool. I often say that. This is just my opinion. But I'm sharing it. I'm that passionate about it. And also, for me, obviously, I don't like too much of a crowd. I like kind of quiet, but still in a populated area. So you do notice the snowbirds, again, they start to migrate up in April, and they start to come down here in November. And definitely, it's more populated at the tourist locations, at the popular coastal areas, but nothing unmanageable. That's what I would share too. Nothing unmanageable. You definitely notice a difference. Traffic is definitely more congested. Stores are more congested. But either way, I used to once think I wanted to be a snowbird. But now coming and really being immersed in the Florida culture, I don't want to go back up north for 6 months. I'll go back up north to visit, to see a different change of scenery maybe once in a while, but that's what I feel is best. I don't feel it's best to 6 months in Florida, 6 months up north. Because the culture and the vibe up north, to me, in my opinion, it can't be matched by the magical Florida, the tropical environment, the palm trees, the atmosphere, the culture. That can't be duplicated up north. Now, a lot of people go back up north because they have family members, friends, and even me, that would be a big part of me going to see my mother while she's still alive and everything. So, but if my mother wasn't alive, I don't even know how much I would even go back up north. I may, but I think you do better as a full-time Florida resident and then going on vacation up north rather than being a full-time up north resident and coming on vacation to Florida. But a lot of people are entangled with family members and their jobs, and they don't want to really uproot their life, and I can understand that. And I'm actually thankful for that look, because if everybody did that, if everyone became a full-time Floridian resident, the world wouldn't go round. So I understand that too. But this is an observation in this video for people who are thinking about living in Florida, thinking about people who are becoming the snowbirds. It applies to somewhat all of the southern states, because there's some level of population in the southern states in America during the winter months for people that migrate down. And some people like the desert. I like tropical environment. So some people go to Arizona, some people go to Texas. I stay in Florida. But I think, I know I enjoy being a full-time Floridian. I enjoy maybe visiting my mom up north, but as I say that, if my mom wasn't alive, I don't know if I'd ever go back up north. I don't know. But I just want to share some thoughts in this video about Florida. Again, Florida is one of the most visited states in the United States of America, and one of the most visited places in the world. It's that special. There's a reason it's that visited, because of the tropical climate, the vibe, the culture, the amenities, the things to do. And of course, everyone likes something different, so it's not for everyone. But it's definitely for me, and I'm definitely thankful I made the move here. Just wanted to share some thoughts. Peace and love. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. I talk about Florida. I talk about the nomad life. I talk about a lot of different things on this channel. And just living your best life, living my best life. Some people like it, some people don't. Whatever you do in life, you just got to do you. People are never going to like you 100%. And if they are, usually there's something wrong. You're not doing you enough or something, because that's just what I notice in life. But stay positive, keep pushing forward. We'll talk soon. Peace and love.